The past few years have been unbelievably hard for K-drama fans. Between 2023 and 2025, we said goodbye to actors who shaped our childhoods, our weekends, and our favorite shows. Today, we honor the 14 stars whose light stayed with us long after they were gone. Let's begin. 1. Lee Sun-kyun. Lee Sun-kyun was one of those actors who didn't need flash or noise to make an impact. Many fans first connected with him in Coffee Prince as the gentle music director, and later in Pasta as the perfectionist chef with a soft heart beneath the gruffness. He continued to grow through projects like Golden Time, but for many viewers, My Mister became the defining performance of his career. Quiet, vulnerable, and unforgettable. Internationally, he reached a new level of recognition through Parasite and Apple TV+'s Dr. Brain. Lee Sun-kyun's passing on December 27, 2023, remains one of the most painful losses the industry has ever endured. Out of respect, we won't revisit every detail of that controversy. The situation was complex, deeply public, and in many ways, mishandled. What matters, and what fans continue to hold on to, is the person and the artist he was. To millions, he'll always be the My Mr. Joo-shil, the actor who could express heartbreak with a single glance, who brought dignity to quiet characters, and who showed that softness could be powerful. His performances were layered, human, and healing. 2. Chul. Chul was one of those actors you might not have known by name at first, but you definitely knew his face. He was the ultimate scene-stealing supporting actor. The kind of performer who could walk into a drama, say 2 lines, and instantly make the moment better. Fans remember him from Vincenzo as the slimy but oddly lovable lawyer Kim Myung-joo, and from dramas like Happiness, Little Women, Weak Hero Class 1, and Once Upon a Small Town. He also appeared in major films, including Along with the Gods, The Two Worlds, and Concrete Utopia. He passed away on January 21, 2023, at just 36 years old. His agency shared that he died while receiving hospital treatment after his health suddenly worsened. The cause was described only as exacerbated health issues, and no further details were released. Today, Chul is remembered as one of those unsung pillars of K-dramas, the supporting actor who quietly held together scenes, storylines, and even entire shows. His legacy is a reminder that behind every hit drama are actors like him, bringing depth and heart in ways that viewers may not always notice, but always feel. 3. Jung Chae-yul. Jung Chae-yul was a rising actress many international viewers first noticed in Zombie Detective, where she played Bae Yoon-mi, a small role, but one she made instantly memorable. She also appeared in I Have Not Done My Best Yet, and had an active career as a model. At the time of her passing, she'd been cast in the drama adaptation of Wedding Impossible, and production was halted to adjust when the news broke. She was found dead at home on April 11, 2023, at just 26 years old. Her agency and the media confirmed her passing, but chose not to disclose the cause of death, asking the public to avoid speculation and respect her family's privacy. 4. Park Soo-ryun. Park Soo-ryun was best known in the world of musical theater, where she performed in productions like Il Tenore and Finding Mr. Destiny. For TV audiences, she appeared in a small role in the JTBC and Disney Plus drama Snowdrop, giving many viewers their first glimpse of her on screen. Her passing was one of the most heartbreaking and sudden losses of 2023. On June 11th, she reportedly fell down a flight of stairs on her way home. She was rushed to the hospital but was declared brain dead soon after. In a moment of extraordinary courage and generosity, her parents chose to donate her organs, a decision that was widely respected and deeply praised across Korean media and by fans. 5. Jae-rim. Jae-rim quietly carved his place in the heart of K-drama fans. Many fans first fell for him as the loyal warrior Woon in Moon Embracing the Sun, a performance that made him unforgettable even with limited lines. Throughout the 2000s, he worked steadily, showing up in dramas like 2 Weeks, Inspiring Generation, and Our Gap Soon, the kind of actor whose presence always added something, no matter the role. But for many people, he was loved just as much for who he seemed to be off-screen. His appearance on We Got Married with Kim So-eun remains one of the most iconic virtual couple eras, full of warmth, humor, and unexpected chemistry. It's a version of Jae-rim that fans still look back on fondly. More recently, he joined the cast of TVN's historical series Queen Wu, which continued filming after his passing. The drama is now often spoken of as one of his final works. In November 2024, Song Jae-rim was found dead at home. Reports said a note had been found, and authorities approached the case with care as they investigated. His death was a shock to fans who had followed him for more than a decade, and to colleagues who spoke about him with affection and respect. What remains is the memory of an actor who brought sincerity to every project. Song Jae-rim may not have always been the main lead, but he left a lasting impression on anyone who watched him. And that's the legacy people continue to hold on to. 6. Kim Soo-mi. Kim Soo-mi wasn't just a veteran actress, she was a presence that felt woven into the fabric of Korean entertainment. To many, she was the warm, outspoken ajumma who brought comfort, laughter, and a sense of home. From classics like Country Diaries to Uni is Alive, and films like Marrying the Mafia, Mapado, and Late Blossom, her work touched generations. But beyond the screen, people loved her for her heart, her candid humor, her grounded personality, even her appearances on variety and cooking shows. They all painted the picture of a woman who was both strong and deeply human. When she passed away in October 2024 at 75, after suffering from sepsis and cardiac arrest, the nation mourned. Her funeral drew quiet tears from many, but none more moving than those of her daughter-in-law, actress Seo-yi, who called out, "Mom, don't go." It was a reminder of the real relationships Kim Soo-mi built throughout her life. Her journey was not without heartbreak. She endured the loss of both her husband and son in a car accident years ago, a grief she once spoke of openly. Yet she found the strength to keep living, to keep creating, and to keep making people laugh. That resilience became part of her legacy. 7. Park Ji-ah. Park Ji-ah was one of those supporting actresses whose face felt instantly familiar, even if you didn't always remember her name. Her career began in 2002 with the film The Coast Guard, and over the next 2 decades she kept building a quiet, steady legacy through both films and television. On screen, she delivered strong performances in a variety of genres, but many people, especially international audiences, came to know her through the hit Netflix series The Glory, where she portrayed Jung Mi-hee, the mother of the main character. Her performance was unsettling, complex, and powerful, the kind that can make even a supporting character unforgettable. Tragically, on September 30th, 2024, Park Ji-ah passed away at the age of 52. Her agency confirmed she died early that morning after suffering what was described as a cerebral infarction, a type of ischemic stroke. The news hit many fans and colleagues hard. Messages of condolences flooded social media, and co-stars from her many projects publicly expressed their sorrow. In remembering Park Ji-ah, what stands out is the subtle strength she brought to every role. Her passing is a reminder that behind every memorable show, countless dedicated performers quietly help build the world we fall in love with. 8. Kim Sae-ron. One of the most heartbreaking losses in recent years, and the youngest on our list, Kim Sae-ron was a rare talent you couldn't forget. She began acting at 9, and from a brand new life to her breakout in The Man from Nowhere, she proved again and again that she wasn't just good for her age. She was genuinely extraordinary. Throughout her teens, she carried that same emotional weight into dramas like The Queen's Classroom, Listen to My Heart, and Hi, School, Love On. She grew up on screen, and you could see her trying to stretch her craft with darker, more complex roles in projects like A Girl at My Door. Her later years were harder. The 2022 DUI incident became a very public turning point in her career, and although she apologized and faced the legal consequences, the scrutiny around her never really stopped. She stepped away from acting, and the pressure around her name only grew heavier. On February 16, 2025, she passed away at 24. Out of respect for her and her loved ones, we won't go into the sensationalized or still unresolved details that circulated after her passing. What we can hold on to is her work, the roles that shaped a generation of viewers, the intensity she brought even as a child, and the promise she carried. Kim Sae-ron's story is heartbreaking, but it's also a reminder of how deeply we should care for the people behind the characters we love. 9. Lee Joo-shil. Lee Joo-shil was one of those rare actors who felt like a cornerstone of Korean entertainment. With a career stretching back to the 1960s, she brought a quiet elegance and depth to every role, whether on stage, in film, or on television. Many younger viewers remember her from Train to Busan, The Uncanny Counter, or It's Beautiful Now, but fellow actors saw her as a true theater veteran, someone who lived and breathed her craft. In a poignant twist, her final role reached the world only after she was gone, appearing as Park Mal-soon in Squid Game Season 2, a gentle performance released months after her passing. Lee Joo-shil died on February 2, 2025, shortly after being diagnosed with stomach cancer. She suffered cardiac arrest at home and was pronounced dead at the hospital. Her departure was quiet, without controversy, just the peaceful farewell of an actress who dedicated more than 50 years to storytelling. She leaves behind the legacy of a grandmother of Korean acting, a woman whose work bridged classic theater and global streaming hits, enriching Korean drama with every performance. 10. Kang Myung-joo. She was an actor who didn't need a lead role to make a lasting impression. She started in theater, built decades of craft, and then eased into film and television with the same grounded, thoughtful presence. Many viewers remember her as Judge Park In-young in Extraordinary Attorney Woo, or from Doona, See You in My 19th Life, Wonderful World, and most recently as Yoon Boo-young, the traditional sharp-eyed mother-in-law in When Life Gives You Tangerines. That drama would become her final work. She passed away on February 27, 2025, after a battle with cancer in her early 50s. Her daughter, actress Park Si-young, shared the news, and tributes quickly followed from people who admired her steady, quietly powerful performances. What moved fans most was how When Life Gives You Tangerines chose to honor her. The production wove funeral mass music into an episode, a small but deeply meaningful gesture that viewers immediately recognized as a tribute. It allowed her presence to remain within the story, even after she was gone. Kang Myung-joo's legacy is one of quiet strength, a theater-trained actress whose work always felt truthful and whose final drama carried her memory with care and love. 11. Choi Jung-woo. Choi Jung-woo was a veteran actor whose face you recognized instantly, even if you couldn't always place his name. He was the dependable chaebol dad, the stern chairman, the no-nonsense judge, the kind of character actor who anchored family dramas, thrillers, and rom-coms alike. Over the years, he appeared in countless hits, including City Hunter, Prosecutor Princess, The Master's Son, The Legend of the Blue Sea, and My Daughter, Seo-young. More recently, he worked on Stealer, The Treasure Keeper, and the historical series The Tale of Lady Oak. He passed away on May 27, 2025, at the age of 68. His agency, Bless ENT, shared the news quietly, saying only that he died early that morning. Later reports attributed his passing to complications from a chronic illness. The coverage that followed highlighted not just his long list of drama credits, but also his deep roots in theater, where he built a reputation as a steady, reliable presence. He may not always have been the star, but his familiar presence stitched together decades of Korean television. His legacy is that of a true character actor, reliable, enduring, and quietly unforgettable. 12. Lee Seo-yi. Lee Seo-yi was one of those steady, hard-working supporting actresses who quietly shaped the weekday dramas so many viewers watched without ever realizing how much she contributed. She appeared in series like the period drama Guam Heo-jun, the daily Makjang Cheongdam-dong Scandal, and the cable drama City of the Sun. She passed away on June 20, 2025, at just 43 years old. Korean press confirmed that she died in the hospital, though very few details were made public. Many fans only learned about her passing later, through online communities, which added a quiet sadness to the news. Actors like Lee Seo-yi rarely become headline stars, but they're the ones who keep the industry moving, filling its stories with warmth, tension, and heart. Her legacy lives in the roles that viewers may not have realized were hers, but always felt. 13. Lee Moon-soo. Lee Moon-soo was one of those veteran actors whose face felt instantly familiar, especially to international K-drama fans. He appeared in some of the most beloved titles of the past decade. Whether he was playing a mentor, a judge, or a quirky elder, he always added a sense of warmth and weight to the story. He passed away on November 29, 2025, at the age of 76 after a 3-year battle with lung cancer, as confirmed by the Korea Actors Association. The news drew heartfelt tributes from across the industry, especially from colleagues who saw him as a true pillar of Korean theater and television. For many viewers around the world, he remains linked to the nostalgia of Goblin, a drama that became a gateway into K-dramas for an entire generation. Lee Moon-soo is remembered for his steady presence, his decades of craft, and the way he made every scene feel a little fuller just by being there. 14. Lee Soon-jae. Lee Soon-jae was nothing less than a living legend. He had a career that stretched back nearly 7 decades, beginning in 1956 and spanning over 100 films, plays, and TV dramas. From early works like Dongi Bogum and What on Earth is Love to sitcom gold like Unstoppable High Kick, and timeless dramas that shaped generations. Even in his 90s, he never stopped working. In 2024, he starred in Dog Knows Everything and then made history by winning the Daezong at the KBS Drama Awards, becoming the oldest actor ever to receive the industry's highest honor. Backstage, he reportedly said he hoped to continue acting for as long as his body would allow. A simple, humble reflection of a man who lived for his craft. His longtime friend Kim Young-ok was moved to tears during his acceptance, knowing how long and hard he had worked for such recognition. After his passing, many revisited that speech. It wasn't just an award moment, it felt like his final message to the industry. He spoke about starting from small roles, always staying prepared, and pushing back against the idea that actors lose value with age. For peers like Kim Young-ok, it felt like he was finally saying everything he had carried quietly for years. He passed away on the morning of November 25, 2025, at the age of 91. His family and agency confirmed that he died peacefully, closing the final chapter on a life spent devoting himself to the craft he loved. Tributes poured out from colleagues, juniors, and fans, calling him a pillar of Korean acting, a mentor to many, and the grandfather of our screens. Lee Soon-jae leaves behind a legacy so vast, it's almost impossible to fully grasp. Dozens of unforgettable performances, characters that became part of people's memories, and a standard of commitment and humility that many say will never be matched. For countless fans around the world, new and old, he was the reassuring presence in dramas you grew up with, the wise grandfather figure, the constant across decades of change. Goodbye to one of Korean entertainment's greatest icons. His legacy will live on every time we press play. These actors may be gone, but the stories they gave us continue to live in our hearts and on our screens. Their work shaped K-drama history, and their impact will keep echoing through every new fan who discovers them. Thank you for remembering them with me, and for keeping their legacy alive.